Piranhas, with their razor-sharp teeth and fierce reputation, have become synonymous with terror. So what would happen if you spent 5 minutes with these supposed man-eaters? How much would you feel, and how long would you last? To forecast your fate, let's begin by looking at what we know about these fish. Piranhas are freshwater fish native to South American rivers, primarily thriving in the Amazon basin. Fossil evidence puts piranha ancestors in South America's rivers 25 million years ago, but modern piranha genera may have only been around for 1.8 million years. They are also found in other rivers such as the Orinoco, Paraguay, Parana, and Essequibo. These regions provide the warm, nutrient-rich waters that are ideal for piranhas. Their origin in these tropical and subtropical river systems has shaped their behaviors and dietary patterns, making them an integral part of the local aquatic ecosystems. There are approximately 20 to 30 recognized species of piranhas, though estimates can vary among researchers. One of the most notorious species is the red-bellied piranha, easily recognized by the red hue on its belly and its powerful bite. The red-bellied piranha is often the species depicted in media due to its aggressive feeding habits. Another prominent species is the black piranha, which is larger and possesses one of the strongest bites relative to its body size among all vertebrates. The San Francisco piranha is another well-known species, found in Brazil's São Francisco River, known for its size and strength. Piranhas vary in size depending on the species. The average size of a piranha is 6 to 10 inches in length. However, some have been recorded to measure up to 20 inches in length. Despite their relatively small size, piranhas have an impressive bite. Piranhas are known for their sharp triangular teeth, which are designed for efficiently slicing through flesh. These teeth are continuously replaced throughout their lives, ensuring they are always ready for their next meal. A 2012 study found that black piranhas can bite with a force of 72 pounds, which is 3 times their body weight. This bite strength helps them cut through tough prey and even bones. Using fossil models, researchers discovered that the extinct Megapiranha paranensis had an even more powerful bite. This ancient piranha, which lived 10 million years ago, could bite with a force of up to 1,068 pounds. For comparison, this force is about 50 times the body weight of the Megapiranha, which weighed only around 22 pounds. Despite their formidable bite, piranhas are not as dangerous as they are often portrayed. The blame for this fearsome image can be traced back to former President Theodore Roosevelt. In 1913, Theodore Roosevelt embarked on a survey expedition to South America, where he encountered several species of piranhas. During his time in Brazil, Roosevelt witnessed a dramatic event that significantly shaped his perception of these fish. Roosevelt recounted a dramatic tale of a pack of piranhas devouring an entire cow. He described piranhas as the embodiment of evil ferocity in his best-selling book, Through the Brazilian Wilderness. He compared their teeth and jaws to those of sharks and claimed that piranhas habitually attacked creatures much larger than themselves. According to Roosevelt, piranhas would snap fingers off hands, mutilate swimmers, and devour any wounded man or beast, driven to madness by the scent of blood in the water. He recounted tales of piranhas tearing wounded wildfowl to pieces and biting off the tails of large fish during fights. Roosevelt's vivid descriptions and the traumatic events he witnessed contributed significantly to the piranha's fearsome reputation. His accounts painted a picture of these fish as relentless predators, attacking anything that entered their waters. The account of piranhas devouring an entire cow was later claimed to be fake. Locals, eager to impress him, orchestrated a spectacle to showcase the ferocity of piranhas. They extended a net across a river to trap the fish and then stored them in a tank without food for some time. Once Roosevelt arrived, the locals tossed a dead cow into the river and released the starving piranhas. The ensuing feeding frenzy left a lasting impression on Roosevelt. By the time the truth came out, piranhas had already been depicted as ferocious. This image was further cemented by Hollywood. The 1978 movie titled simply Piranha got it all started, and even had 2 sequels that followed. Piranha 2: The Spawning in 1981 and the 2010 Piranha 3D pretty much scared anyone who wasn't affected by Jaws. Urban legends and sensational stories only added to their infamy. The truth is something else. Piranhas are opportunistic feeders with a diverse diet. While many imagine piranhas as relentless carnivores, they actually have varied dietary habits. Piranhas typically consume fish, insects, crustaceans, and occasionally small mammals or birds that might fall into the water. Some species are more omnivorous and consume a significant amount of plant material, seeds, and fruits that fall into the water from overhanging trees. This herbivorous tendency is particularly notable during the wet season, when the flooded forest provides ample plant-based food. On a typical day, crustaceans, bugs, and scavenged scraps make up the largest chunk of their meals, but the balance of this diet can shift depending on the fish's age and the food sources available. Occasionally, when resources are low and competition for food is high, piranhas have been known to take a chunk out of a fellow piranha, living or dead. Even weirder, wimple piranhas feed on fish scales, which contain a protein mucus layer that's surprisingly nutritious. Research shows that piranhas often attack the tail and eyes of other fish to immobilize them first. They also like to hunt in groups, very large groups, sometimes upwards of 500 piranhas. They will hunt together using what is described as the lurk and ambush style of attack. This is how they are capable of taking down a large animal. However, researchers argue that they stay in groups for safety and protection, rather than for attacking prey. After all, every predator is a prey too. Piranhas prey on crocodiles, caiman, river dolphins, large birds, and turtles. Back to the question that started this video. Can piranhas eat human beings? Not exactly. Some of the species are indeed attracted to the smell of blood. In fact, piranhas can smell a drop of blood in 200 liters of water. However, piranhas usually get aggressive with humans in specific scenarios. First and foremost, the species of piranha matters. Black piranhas and red-bellied piranhas are considered the most dangerous and aggressive toward humans. For example, in the Brazilian Amazon, attacks are common. Therefore, farmers, when they need to pass through the rivers, drop a cow in the river to pass through, a sacrifice to the piranhas so the rest of the herd can pass unscathed. Usually, it is an old or sick cow that wouldn't make the journey much longer. Next, piranhas attack when they are disturbed. They might bite if they are being handled, if people spill food or clean their fishing catch in the water, or if someone disturbs them while they are mating or guarding their eggs during the wet season. Starvation can also lead to more aggressive behavior. Basically, situations where the fish either feel really threatened or really hungry and thus become more aggressive. In most cases, if they bite you, they only bite you once, and they usually go for the toes or feet. According to a report, 30 piranha attacks occurred in a period of 12 years in an isolated village on the Wayombo River. The bites were mostly on the feet, and injuries were relatively harmless. In the second village, attacks occurred in 7 years, and injuries were more serious, including the loss of digits and large and deep wounds in legs, arms, and trunk. A significant number of times, piranhas are not interested in attacking humans. They prefer to feed on creatures their size or smaller. If you fell into a river full of piranhas, they would likely be scared of you. They rarely attack humans unless extremely hungry or if the human is already dead. While the idea of piranhas turning you into a skeleton in minutes is terrifying, it's mostly legend. Experts estimate that it would take around 300 to 500 piranhas to strip the flesh from a 180-pound human in 5 minutes. Let's assume you fall into the Amazon River, home to red-bellied piranhas. They are not starving, and you are not surrounded by fish guts or disturbing their breeding. In this scenario, the piranhas would most likely avoid you. Calmly and softly swimming or wading to shore is recommended. Remember, splashing can attract piranhas. As mentioned earlier, piranhas can smell blood, so if you are bleeding, a dip in the Amazon might not be the best idea. They are equipped with strong jaws and sharp teeth, capable of biting with a force 3 times their body weight, but they rarely use this strength on humans. In conclusion, spending 5 minutes with piranhas is not as deadly as movies suggest. They might be curious, but they are more likely to avoid you. Unless they are starving or you provoke them, piranhas are not the man-eating monsters they are often depicted as. You might get a few nips, but you won't be devoured. So the next time you think about piranhas, remember that their reputation is more fiction than fact.